Really, it's good to see so many people, from all over India. I can see Yasir sir joining, Dr. Yasir from Kerala. There is Arifin sir from Bangladesh, and we have Nagpur being represented. Surat, of course, we had Soha ma'am. It's a wonderful community. But we are a little biased. We went a little close door to Pune, our cousin here in Mumbai, to get our next speaker for today. And please give a hearty welcome to Akanksha Joshi. Akanksha ma'am, you can see the bubbliness, the effervescence that she brings, and the crayons that also she asks us to get. So she's the co-founder and the lead educator of Kriya Viz. Hopefully she will get to know more about it. A personal development coach, a communication coach, and an executive trainer for business communication. Akanksha ma'am, we're excited to hear you. So the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
A very good evening to all of you present here and a warm welcome to the session number 7. And today we're going to talk about role of creativity in education. But before that, a little bit about myself. I'm assure you I'm not going to bore you for sure. All right, I'm not going to do that. So yes, I have been associated with the education field for more than a decade. I started my career with the MNC, but I soon realized it is not for me to just sit in front of this laptop and do that is not for me. I needed more to explore my own strengths, and then I've worked with some reputed schools in Pune, and there again I realized about 5 years ago that I was still feeling a little stuck in just managing one grade. So I was at the leadership position, but academics, and I could see that skills are very, very important nowadays. Back then when we were in school, maybe not so much. We were told to stick to your books, the same answers, question answers, question answers. Nobody spoke about the skill development so much. And maybe during this journey, being associated with the schools, I realized my own strengths. And I have been a stage lover, a public speaker all my life since school. And that is what I wanted to share with all the children as well. And that's when I started with this venture along with my uh, equally better half. So with him, both of us, we started with Kriya Viz, and it has two wings. One is education, which is headed by me, and we have our own personality development programs, which revolve around all the 21st century skills. Right now, very, very important for all the students, be it a grade 1 student or a grade 10 student or a college student. It is the skills that really, really matter alongside the academics. And the other wing is the corporate wing, where again we help adults enhance their communication skills. We conduct soft skill trainings. I'm also a published author of original poetic renditions, so I love penning down my thoughts in the form of poetry. And that's about me. All right.
Just to summarize, she's Nayab Mida and Tony Robbins combined into one.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Truly, truly humble. Thank you so much for that warm and the kind words. Thank you so much. I don't know about how much justice I can do to that, but I'll try my best. So let's, before we dive straight into the topic over here, I wanted to start with a little game. So you can expect a lot of twists and turns in this session. Okay. So this game is also inspired by three very handsome and talented men, the famous trio of Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. I hope you all know about that movie. So they, it's a very simple game. The moment I would say a word, without thinking, without even taking a minute. Yes, exactly, Madhya ma'am. Ritik, Farhan, and Abhay. Absolutely. So, inspired by that, without even thinking for a minute or nothing, within seconds, when you hear that word, which I'm going to tell you, you have to put it in the chat box. Whatever the next word comes to your mind. For example, if I say sky, the moment I say sky, what comes to your mind? You have to write it in the, yes, sky dress, blue, high, exactly. Any word that comes to your mind, you have to put it in the chat box. All right. So that was an example. So I would request everyone to open their chat boxes, please, so that you can type in as soon as I say the word. We'll just do 3 rounds and then I'll tell you about it. Are we ready? Can we go ahead? All right, great. So here's the first word: imagination. Do not take time, whatever. Wow, dream, creativity. Kids, lovely. Creativity, yes. Venice, oh my God. My name, Kalpana. Absolutely, Kalpana, ma'am. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, here goes the second word: travel, yes. Creativity. What is the word that comes to your mind when you hear creativity? Drawing, imagination, art. Yes, imagination, innovative crayons, thinking, individuality, innovation. Lovely, amazing. Movie director, of course. They have to be creative so that we get to see good movies. All right. And the third round: you yourself. When you think about yourself, which is the first word that comes to your mind? Bubbly, kind, sky, loyal. Superman, wow. Awesome, dominant, kind, lively, lovely, lovely. Great. Now, honest, a book, wow. Great. So here for me, I would say, now I'm not like taking time or anything. It's from childhood. This word has been associated with me, not just by myself, but everyone around me also. Somehow they just associated this word and it has been a part of my life, so much so that my Instagram handle also has this word. Creative has been a part of my life. Creativity has been in every aspect of my life, and I'm very passionate about being creative in whatever way possible. And I feel that it is much required for the students also to know why it is important to be creative. Usually when we go for technical roles or education, we tend to only think in that manner, and we think that analytical thinking is more important. But being creative, you can be creative even when you are in technical roles. So why it is so important, we're going to look at that. And first I would like to share some quotes that I found really interesting. To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong. Isn't how true is that, isn't it? Because creativity is all about exploring, experimenting, innovation. And all that is possible only when you do not restrict yourself because of negative emotions, because of fear. We do not need to teach creativity, but rather inspire its daily practice. So, just by teaching creativity is not enough, as they have to practice, the children have to practice it daily, not just children, even adults, I would say. Whatever we do, because creativity is everywhere in everything. And creativity is now as important in education as literacy. So, literacy is to be able to read and write, and creativity is now at that level. It is important to be able to be creative, think beyond, to understand what creativity is. So, this little game that we played, this was where your logical mind was not thinking, your conscious mind. When you have to speak, or when you have to give the answer in a fraction of a second, your conscious mind would take a little time. So all that came your way, all that the answers that you gave, it was your subconscious mind throwing those answers, which are there, which you feel from within. So somebody who said that I'm bubbly, all those traits that you listed about yourself, that's what you deeply feel about yourself. Otherwise, of course, we will write down a list of things about ourselves if given some time, but that's our conscious mind doing the thinking, logical thinking. All that creativity will come when you go beyond that conscious mind. So, hence that game, because that answers come straight to you. It is given to you. It is not that you are thinking, it is your subconscious mind giving you those answers. So, how to go about it? What is creativity is what we need to know and what we need to share with our children, with our students. The ability to do something in a different way by using new ideas or one's imagination. So thinking out of the box, thinking how can I do this differently or that. So when I was actually or really a kid, and the words are used deliberately over here because now also I most of the times I do feel like a kid and act like one as well. But when I truly was a kid, that time I saw that people often use the word creative or creativity to art. That's it. It was restricted there. Drawing, somebody who's good in drawing, painting, sketching, embroidery, designing. Those people are very creative. And that was the idea set in my mind as well. But as I was growing up in all these years, when I started observing, I found that creativity is everywhere. It's in everything around us. It's just we need to be more observant and we need to be aware. For example, have you seen children playing? You give them any kind of toy, they will play with that toy with the intended purpose. But after that, they will use that toy and play with it in a completely different manner. And it is sure to amaze you and amuse you as well. That how come they are, using this particular toy in this manner. In I'm blessed with two lovely girls. And now, of course, they are past that age when they sit and play like this. But when they used to sit and play a few years ago together, they had created this imaginary world of theirs, which had fairies and wizards and witches and all that. Sometimes they used to include me also. Sadly, I was the queen witch. And but that those kind of thoughts, that imagination, I was really, as I said, I was amazed and amused that how are they generating all these things, ideas. And it was really a pleasure to see them play. So that is of course creativity. And I'm sure when we are all kids, we used to play, especially for the girls, I would say ghar ghar was our favorite playtime. We used to make those little with the chairs and tables. That again, those ideas that children use. So a wonderful thing. Then all the cooking enthusiasts over here, I'm sure you would agree that cooking is an art, it's a skill, and it requires a lot of creativity. You experiment, you explore different things. There's so many ingredients and so many things to play with and explore. It's a therapy for some, I would say. That's not for me totally, but very selected items, very selected ones, not the regular cooking. But yes, I have seen and I know people for whom cooking is like a stress buster, and they explore, they try so many new things. Yes, I would agree to that too. Eating is definitely a therapy. And of course, then creativity, when we are talking about creativity being everywhere, the multi-billion dollar industry, advertising, that industry is working only because of the creative ideas. So uh, I mean, if those ideas are not there, if those minds are not working over there, those creative minds behind these ads, some of them I just wanted to share. Really, my favorite ones. I mean, look at Mac Cafe. They've used their own logo for sleepy, droopy eyes and then wide awake eyes using coffee beans. So, such simple yet such a creative ad. Then Ford, the city is in your hands, and they've drawn the city over here on the key itself. Amazing idea. And one of my favorites, social distancing whopper, the burger with triple onion layer. Of course, anybody is going to stay away from us if we are going to have a layer of triple onions, isn't it? So that's the best way to keep people at a distance. So, and then Dracula's wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses for glare protection. I mean, look at the thinking. So when you look at these ads, one more thing strikes: imagination, creativity, and critical thinking. Because if you're not thinking beyond, how it's going to look like, how the what is the logic behind that, if we are not going to think about that, we won't be able to share or come up with such beautiful ads. So there is a relation between them, which we will see in a couple of slides. Then yet again, all the artistic skills include creativity. Dance, oh my god, those Dance India dance shows or any other dance show, the people come up with such amazing ideas, the fusions. Same with music and drama, the skit which is written, the way it has to be presented. Definitely creativity helps in interaction too, ma. Because when you are even in any kind of human interaction, or with children, I would say, children, adults, anywhere, the way we speak says a lot about us. So all these places, creativity is there, and I cannot, of course, forget, I have to mention, what about books, the world they give us. uh, since childhood, reading so many different books, those novels, it's a you are transported to a different world altogether when you are reading a book. Adventure, mystery, friendship, fantasy, it is amazing. Harry Potter, one of my favorite ones. And I remember my husband used to tell me, "You're reading a children's book, storybook." And I was like, "No, this is not just children's storybook. This is a very interesting series." And then later he also read, and he was like, "Oh yes, of course, a lot of us, we used to get together and we were completely hooked on to Harry Potter series." And I still have discussions with my students about the world that is created. It's like a parallel reality. I still feel that yes, King's Cross Station, maybe when we go to that platform 9 and 3/4, we might get Hogwarts Express. It's a parallel reality created. The author, the way she has, the creatures that she's thought of. So, all writing books and in such a manner, it is not possible without imagination, without critical thinking, because you are making others also think accordingly. So I often ask my students that, do you read books? And if they say, yes, we do. How do you read books? Because reading is good, but how you read and how your reading experience is matters a lot. So if there is just, are you reading just the text on the surface? If that is a yes, then very soon the child is going to leave the books. Let me tell you. If they are just reading the text on the surface, going on pages and pages and done, reading has to be experienced as a movie. The moment we are reading, there should be a movie playing. You should be visualizing and imagining the scenes, the characters. When there are dialogues, you should be one of the characters delivering that dialogue. So being a completely immersive experience. That is how reading has to be done. And if students learn to read like that, they would become bookworms. And I'm sure, like how Daud sir wrote about himself, bookworm, they would also write the same thing for themselves. They will love reading books because they will be completely immersed in it. So that is again something that we have to teach the children, because some of them do not know and they just go through reading books and they're like, "Oh no, it's okay, we read it, not that great." The experience itself was not there. So now, as I had mentioned about the relationship between creativity, imagination, and critical thinking, the more imaginative we are. What is imagination? Imagination is thinking beyond your reality. What you see, what you hear, you are thinking beyond it. You are visualizing some things which you might not have seen before or heard before. Those are the things which Harry Potter also has, and of course a lot of other books, Lord of the Rings, any fantasy story you pick up. That's how your imagination works, introducing things which are never heard of. The more imaginative you are, the more you question the reality and you think beyond the reality. Critical thinking, again, putting logic to things which are not there, but you're somehow trying to connect the dots. The more you think beyond the reality, the more you imagine things beyond reality, the more creative you become. It is all interlinked. And as I just gave the example of reading, when you immerse yourself in that, completely imagining each and every scene that is taking place. And then, how about critical thinking? Thinking what is going to happen next, or what would you have done if you were one of those characters? Discussions, that is how that critical thinking will also come. Again, critical thinking is not only related to analytical thinking and technical skills, it is every day in our life we use critical thinking. We This is to develop creativity, curiosity. Exactly, that is what is going to ask yourself, how can I do this better, or how can I do it differently? That question itself is going to improve your creativity. So we are here. I would like to quote Albert Einstein: imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. So, what is knowledge? What we read, what we hear, what we see, what is there around us in our reality. Knowledge is all about that. But it is limited after all. Imagination, there it is endless, it's limitless. There is no limit to it. All of us here in the session, we would have knowledge about certain things, right? We can all have a discussion around it. But imagination, again, all of us, once we start imagining, we are going to imagine, even if it's the same topic, it can be anywhere. We can think about anything. There is no restriction, absolutely no restriction. And that is what the activity is going to be uh, about. So it's going to be about no restriction imagination and how you all are going to use it right now. And it's an activity which I do it in my program for my students. They do it in a more intricate manner, but we won't be doing it so intricately. So how, I'm sure you all have drawn sceneries some point of time in life, right? What do we draw in the scenery? What all do we cover in a scenery?
Mountains, hut,
Correct.
river,
Yes,
clouds, trees.
absolutely. Right. So whether it's a beach scenery or it's a mountain scene, it's a valley scene, beach, exactly. All nature. Yes. Now, when we draw mountains or sun, what shape is it? V for birds. Yes. What shape do we draw for mountains and sun?
M for mountains and semicircle for sun.
Semicircle if we are showing a rising or a setting sun, or a full circle if we are showing, bright sun, bright day. And V shape, M shape, triangle basically. And what colors do we use for trees and rivers?
Green color for trees and rivers are almost gray or white or something like that.
Yeah, or usually blue for children, because they see that yes, it's the same color reflecting, so blue color is the river which they draw. We tell the children to draw scenery, they will give us beautiful drawings, beautiful ones, different shades of green, different shades of blue. That's all right. Mountains can come in maybe brown or snow capped or green mountains. You will see different again for sun. Why do they use only these colors for these specific things?
There are two reasons. One, you are directed by teachers, or you have observed in nature.
Exactly. So it's one, even if the teacher is directing them or instructing them to do so, the teacher also sees that in reality. This is what we are seeing around us. This is the reality. Yes, the sun that we see, orange, yellow color, the children color that, round, the mountains, whatever we see in our reality is what comes on the paper. Yes, it's time to get the crayons out. So what you have to do is you are going to create your imaginary land. It's going to be a scenery. I don't want intricate drawing. You can just cover 5 or 6 aspects, or just 5 aspects, like, put mountain, river, hut, tree, depending, sun, clouds. That's all right. You can choose a mountain scene, valley scene, beach scene, up to you. It's your imaginary land, but the twist here is you will either change the shape of the aspects that you choose, or you will change the color of the aspects, or you can change both. Suppose the sun is round, in my imaginary land, sun will not be round. I will have to choose a different shape or a different color. Again, second twist is, this is not enough. You need to come up with an answer. Why have you changed that shape or the color? And the answer can be very simple, as long as it satisfies the question. So, for example, I'll again give the example, but no one is going to use that. Okay, so in my imaginary land, the clouds are fluffy but light pink in color. Any idea why? Any guesses? Pink in
Girls
color.
love pink color.
Sorry.
Girls love pink color.
That could be an answer, but it's not for me.
Cotton
It's
candy.
Yes, that's a knows that we're talking about food and everything here. Yes,
Yes.
they are cotton candy clouds. Exactly, Maria ma'am. Candy floss. So those clouds are cotton candy clouds. That's just my wish. Okay, you can have anything. You can make anything. Think beyond the reality. Please do not let logic restrict you. If you have the colors, you can just scribble the colors inside. You do not need to see, this is, we are not doing an art class here. I'm not going to judge you or anything because of the artwork, so please. Or Pramila ma'am, you can just write down the color that you are choosing for the aspects. Okay.
I thought I'll write. I thought I'll write something instead of drawing.
But drawing would be better. How would you write the shape? You'll have to, like, if at all you're drawing a mountain, so you'll have to either change the shape or the color of the mountain, and then you have to tell why you have changed that. Why is the color, instead of brown or green of the mountains, why is it brown? Why is it blue? Why is it pink? Anything.
Actually, if you were to see an avalanche, it can look blue.
It it can look blue, yes. But here we
It
are
does.
leaving the logic and reality behind, ma'am.
No,
You're
I
talking to a
understand that.
principal. Everything
Ah,
she says is right.
No, I've
true.
seen it. I have seen it.
That is why I said reality we are leaving behind. We are going beyond the reality.
All right.
So here's some time for all of you to think about those aspects that you're going to change, and anything. It's not just shape and color. So, for example, trees have fruits. You can go ahead and please change that also. Trees can have anything on them. Even though you have to think of a reason, keep it simple. And whoever finishes it, you can please let me know what all aspects you have changed and why. Yes, ma'am.
Uh, I have given a hanging thread to the clouds
Okay.
because I want to bring them to India where we have water shortage.
All right. Okay.
And my trees are having a green trunk because they are now happy they have got the water, and the leaves are red.
Leaves are red. Why
Yeah,
is that?
they're red because they are blushing.
Oh, how sweet. That
You
is
had
so
pink clouds. You had pink clouds, and I have red leaves.
lovely. That is such a sweet answer. They are blushing. Amazing.
Yeah, they're happy.
They're happy. Wonderful.
And
And
mountains are
should I show
soft.
you, or is it okay? I should speak
It's
about.
okay. Yeah, you can just speak about
I
it.
think it'll be wonderful. All of you put your pictures in the skill group. It's nice to see.
Actually,
Yes.
that would be great. That would be great.
And you can describe them here.
Yeah.
So I have done a house, uh, different the sun, who is bright but sober in blue color, and
Okay.
the river with peach color, because I love peach color and it's soothing to me. So I want to be in that. And house should be different colors. With I don't want stick to any one color. I want to be very colorful. I want a colorful house. And the
Lovely.
elephant, I love the animal, and I want it to fly so I can fly with it.
Wonderful. Lovely. Yes. Elephant. I see. It's your imaginary land. Anything can happen and anything can fly. You can also fly there with the elephant. Great. Thank you, Darshana ma'am.
So I've
Anyone
also
else?
shared mine.
Yes. Sure, sir.
Well, I've got clouds that are triangle with wings. They can fly. That's the whole idea about saving energy. Well, I
Okay.
put myself in. I look very handsome with horns in. The only thing that doesn't change is my tiranga. The flag doesn't change. Everything else, the world can change on its own.
Oh, lovely. Great. So amazing, amazing. And I'm really looking forward to see all the drawings in the group. Oh, they're already there. Is it?
Yes, yes, we've got a lot of drawings.
Okay, mine is evening sky, and my crow is pink and orangish in color.
Crow.
Crows have always been related with sadness and gloominess. And I somehow, as a kid, whenever a crow used to come and sit on a fence, and my mother used to say somebody is going to come, and
Yes,
that always elated me a lot. So I could never understand why it is like black and grayish in color. I, as a kid, always drew crows in different colors. So I think that is something good for me. I'm
absolutely.
happy, and I want in this scene, even the crows are happy with the evening scene. That is what I'm trying to tell. So they are bright and colorful.
Lovely. Great. Yes, actually, crows, even my mom used to say that if the crow is, there, so somebody is going to come. Some guests are expected. So that's a good thing. Great. All right. I can see a lot of lovely drawings with the pink sun and the outside with the horns. That's great. The elephant flying. Lovely. Thank you so much. And I guess more people will be putting the drawings over there. The basic idea behind this is just to let the students know that in their imagination, there is no restriction. They should not be limited to the reality. What they see, what they hear, what they read, they should not restrict themselves to that. They should go beyond the reality. Only
Break the
then,
norm.
yes, ma'am.
You're saying break the norm.
Break the norm, of course. Absolutely. Creativity is all about that. You need to have that courage also. And that is why when I ask the students, so my juniors, I ask them, how much imagination do you think you have? Ma'am, this much? Oh, okay. I was like, are you sure this much? No, ma'am. Okay, this much I have. So this is how they feel. Okay, this much imagination do you have? And like, how much do you use? Ma'am, I think I use only this much. So they themselves are saying that, okay, we use this much. But that's how it is. We are bounded by a certain syllabi, and it's not their fault or it's not anybody's fault. Of course, that is required. But alongside academics, the development of creativity and imagination is very, very important, irrespective of whether we are talking about technical skills or just social skills, anything. So now getting to the core, the creativity in education, so many ways to uh, get creative through art. Like right now, why you can just let the children do what they want instead of in related to the topic. What more can they come up with? Let's see and let them explore the idea. I'm sure it's going to be so amazing, and the things we would not even expect, they will give us that. Music, how can we include music? Let the children turn the poems into songs or rap. It's going to be a musical session in the classroom, and it's going to be fantastic. It would be enjoyed by everyone. So with the tunes, with some musical instruments, guitar or a synthesizer, and they can turn poems, whether it is Hindi or English, into songs. Gamification, there are innumerable games now, or whether it is online or in classroom games, some ideas wherein team group group games are there, team building games are there, individual brain teasers. We can always include that in our classrooms also. Now for dance, a very interesting one. So if at all I plan to have an aerobic session in my classroom, and I tell them, come on, let's do this. Okay, yes, 1 2 3 4, and with some music. Which science topic can I teach with this? Any idea?
Physics.
Angles.
Angles also, yes. See, all creativity is flowing. There's some other thought in my mind, but yes, motion, physics, angles. You're talking about science. I was talking about joints. So
For
doing
me, it would be
aerobics.
gravity. I'll fall down with all this aerobics.
Yes, exactly. We can include these skills to teach any subject. For drama, now I remember we had done a skit for math. Now drama, again, it's not necessary, it has to be in languages only, related to languages. I remember doing a skit with my students on mathematical operations, the four basic operations: multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. They having a discussion, or as friends, about themselves, and it turned out to be very well, and they were talking about themselves, how they help us. So with moral, this kit was planned and the students did a great job. Similar lines, we can have a skit on internal organs coming and talking together, having a discussion that, why I am a most vital organ. Mime artist, miming, exactly. So many ways we can. Now, drama is very good to teach history as well. Having the court, entire Akbar's court, Akbar Birbal stories, you can have in the class just for some fun, and also to relate the story over there. Any other thing, light and sound show, right? Flipped classroom, any concept reinforcement, if we want, of learning. Flip the classroom, let the student become the teacher, the teacher becomes the student, and let them take it up and teach us the concepts. Storytelling of teaching and storytelling for teaching. So, storytelling for teaching, again, for division. I remember we had done a story. We told them that this is the palace, the division sign, the what we put over there. So there are king and queen, so two-digit numbers. So the king and queen live in the palace. There is a guard outside the palace. The visitors only will be there on the terrace. So we, weave the story around this entire concept so that the children remember the steps very well, and they will always remember the story, of course, for the division. So storytelling for teaching is the teachers coming up with the story, and storytelling of teaching is when the students come up with the story, or not just storytelling, poetry, any concept for reinforcement. We can ask children to come up with stories, weave a story around this particular concept, or a poem. So creative writing also happens when they are going to speak. They will that confidence building will also happen, because they'll get more and more opportunity to come forward and showcase what they have done. And of course, this is all going to be so creative. The classroom itself will be a creative classroom with artwork, dance, stories, games, music. So all these skills together we can have for teaching. So it can be involved, and that way education will not only be limited to just your textbooks or that knowledge that we were talking about. Of course, we need that, we are going to get it, but it will put on, the thinking caps. The students will get a chance to put on their thinking caps, think beyond the reality which is there, beyond the facts that they are reading, and have a fun time. So imagine, explore, innovate, experiment. And with that, I would like to conclude this session for today by quoting Greta Thunberg, again, one very young social activist, that creativity fuels our imagination, and our imagination fuels our dreams of a better world. So we all need to be fueled up with all the skills that we have, but creativity definitely should be there for all of us. Thank you so much for listening to me so patiently, for participating in the activities, and being such a fabulous audience. Thank you so much.
Wow, Akanksha ma'am, thank you so much. So creative session, so lively session. Oh, probably we just zoom past it, and I can see how amazingly you're curating and curate. Is Are you Akanksha curious on Instagram? Is that you? So
No, it's
because
creative.
creative, all right, because you really made us all curious. You're wonderful. I think I'll open the floor for others to share their. I think it'll be always beautiful appreciation coming in. Go ahead. And of course, Pramila ma'am, how was your session? Where are your crayons?
I don't have any crayons. I had told her that. Yeah, but
It was,
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
thank you so
Thoroughly,
much,
thoroughly
ma'am.
enjoyed it.
Means a lot coming from you. Thank you so much.
I think Akanksha ma'am, you engage everyone. Yasir sir, I saw your drawing. It was wonderful. What would you draw? How was the session, sir?
Yeah, it was really nice. Actually, it opened up new eyes for me. It's like sitting in front of the session. Suddenly, creativity started getting into my mind. I was very bad in that, but still, I started scripting some, and I just shared. But it is really great, great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
There's something I wanted to share. We were talking about different activities that we can have through creativity. Now, I have written an article on art integrated learning, which is mentioned by NEP.
Yes.
So it's going to be published in the World Education Fellowship newsletter.
Wow.
Once it is published, I'll share it with you.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. And yes, NEP now, of course, the schools have started with art integration, activities and cross-curricular as well, mixing the different subjects together. It's not just going to be core subject teaching, but that's how we can explore more and more and get more skills into it.
This is lovely. I think I see so many people putting in I think the appreciation is the teamwork. When people did actually what you asked everybody to do, getting crayons, writing it down, this means a lot. So thank you so much, everyone. Anyone wants to add something to it? Darshana ma'am, Madiha ma'am, there have been some amazing. You've got principals here listening to
Hello.
you.
Good
Yeah,
evening,
Kalpana ma'am, go
ma'am.
ahead. Both of you, go ahead, one by one. Yeah, maybe Kalpana ma'am, yeah, you start.
Thank you, first of all, Akanksha ma'am. It was a lovely session. And what I would like to add is like we all have creativity in our mind, but only thing is we don't want to use it, you know. Like human brain is always better than computers, they say. But you know, like it's a nice session, then you know, even I personally feel that I should drill my mind and you know, and be more creative. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, and that's very true. Everyone has creativity inside them. It's just that we need to bring it to the surface.
Should I
Good
go
evening,
next?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Darshana, ma'am.
Thanks, Akasha ma'am. It was a real fun, loving way to learn what is creativity. I'm very much into this kind of creativity with my own self. So I truly, relate to you. And I have always been grown up as a creative child. In school, definitely it was like a horse pad where you have to study, study, and study. But
Right.
once I left the school and I was in college, I started with my own creativity, and I used to explore in a way of drawing. So now today I have really enjoyed seeing creativity in storytelling or in another maths. Maths was a wonderful thing which I came to know that you have done with different aspects, and it was really. I would like to know more about all these things. Just send your LinkedIn or something so I can see your work.
Sure, sure, absolutely, ma'am. In fact, maths is what I used to teach, maths and English. And I even, so there's a very coveted platform, Lead by Example. It was earlier by Pearson's. It was a competition for teachers where we had to present our case studies at a national level. So teachers from all over India. So it was under Pearson's when I had participated, and I won the competition at that level for my case studies. And
Wow.
first year it was for division, which I did. Told the students with stories and birthday parties, celebrating birthdays and distributing chocolates. That also is division. So it was all for the little ones. But we were supposed to present our case studies, how a particular topic, if a teacher is given, the complete freedom, how would you do it yourself? So for that, so and that is why I said everybody has that creativity. We just need to bring it on the surface.
Because
Very
super creative
something
people.
to share.
This is amazing. I read a small message from Arifin sir from Bangladesh. He said I have to leave due to iftar time. So as we go ahead, he said he loved the session and said I'll call myself super creative man. And a million thanks to Akanksha ma'am for the lovely session.
Wow,
So
thank you
we
so
are
much.
crossing borders. We are meeting people. It's
Lovely,
amazing.
lovely,
Uh,
amazing.
Madhya ma'am, you had unmuted yourself. Go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. First, I would like to thank what an enlightenment session it was. You really enlightened our mind with curiosity and imagination and creativeness and all. And now I know that my son has more colors than any of my lipstick shades. If you come and just see his study table, and who knows him personally, they know that he is an art enthusiast. I've put his link also in the group. Do follow his Instagram account. You'll see all his various arts and all. And thanks to Golden Sparrow, actually they follow the same module which you were just what we had a session with that. So I really like to thank Dawood sir and Golden
Great.
Sparrow team and all because they are actually following the same module.
Amazing, amazing to know that.
We've
Great.
integrated everything.
Can I share something which I experienced as a
Yes,
physical
yes,
educator?
ma'am. Go ahead. Then I'll quickly wind it up. Yes, ma'am. Please.
This is something that happened in the kindergarten class. The teacher had asked the children to color a cow, and everybody colored the cow, whatever color they wanted, but this one child colored the cow red. So the teacher said, "Have you ever seen a red cow? The cow cannot be red." Now that matter was brought to me. He's colored it red. Now what do I do? How do I teach him the color sense? So I asked the child, "Why did you color it red, beta? What happened?" "My daddy na, when he stands in the sun, he turns red. The cow stands in the sun for so long, so I colored it red." What a
Oh,
beautiful logic.
Wow.
exactly, exactly, ma'am. That's how it is. So that's when we are thinking about, that is where I said that how imagination, creativity, and critical thinking is linked,
Then
because
as
children
teachers,
will put
them,
logic,
yes, as teachers, we should give them that space and
right,
accept.
and let them express themselves, whatever be the thought behind it. At least we'll come to know if we give them a chance to express themselves.
Yes.
Lovely. I think there's a beautiful there's a poem, a nursery rhyme which says roses are red and violets are blue, and that's the way it is because that's the way. So the teacher is insisting on roses being red, and the child is saying no, roses could be violet. I think that's the whole idea. Akanksha ma'am, you all created creative outlets for all of us. You opened up an entire amazing idea. I'm sure all of us are going to start making yellow broccolis and brown rices. Brown rice is good, healthy for health though.
Thank you.
Uh, Quickly, thank you so much, everyone. I could see the amazing dedication we are, week after week. Why are we even here? The entire dream, and perhaps just the beginning of this session, I was talking to Pramila ma'am and Akanksha ma'am. Said our prime minister had this creative awards. Aman Gupta and Curly Tails. Kamia Jani. Some of the people I follow, they got the awards. We need to create a trainers and coaches and mentors session so that we are recognized, not for the sake of being recognized, but for the sake of taking the word ahead. I've collaborated with few other skill programs across the world. Skill India being one of them. We are training partners, official training partners of it, and we're trying to get the UAE one, Uzbekistan, United States. The idea is, can we take the skills across? That's the whole idea. And in between the sessions, every alternate sessions, you see a skill program and you see a SDG program. So next week you'll see something on SDG. My dream is that we get equipped by 17 SDGs. So if we can wake you up at 2 a.m. in the night, some of you don't sleep, yes, Awatif ma'am and Shazia ma'am, but others, if you wake you up, you should be able to spell up the 17 SDGs for sure. That's the whole idea, that we know what SDGs, and then like what Soha ma'am did, what Mansoor sir is doing, one SDG will become your go-to SDG. It could be good health, it could be affordable and clean energy, and we'll start going to schools and colleges and talk about it. Yes, at the end of these 10 sessions, you will be certified as a skill ambassador with a Skill India training logo as well. And we are looking at 20th or April or around that time, a small felicitation in Mumbai, and I'll keep you updated and informed. And finally, the way we are reaching out, there are multiple ways. One of the ways that we are trying to reach out to schools is engage them through a curriculum. This is a curriculum I worked in IIT Delhi, curated it along with some of the professors and people, their students there, and hopefully we'll take it digital, we'll take it, global. This is a curriculum I'll slowly introduce you to. Most of the chapters are being introduced to you. You will get a sample curriculum, the book of it, and in some sessions we will run through one of the books so you are equipped on what these books contain. They're primarily SDG and life skills, very simple activities, and at the end of it, let's say a school in Bhopal needs a trainer, a school in Pune needs a trainer, a school in Jammu needs a trainer. We have an entire group of trainers out there. I'm sure some of you are searching yourself, so we'll populate the list again with a lot more trainers. But that's the dream, that's the idea. What we're trying to do here is actually skilling India. That's what Skill India is all about. That's a dream that we're trying to do, but we need to be equipped. Each of you brings such amazing experiences, such amazing anecdotes and stories and activities that we saw here. One today, we saw a couple of ones earlier, and that's how the whole idea is. We are inching towards 10 sessions, which will officially make you a certified trainer, but we'll not stop there. We'll continue some of the sessions, especially the one on LinkedIn, some of the other sessions we work on, and hopefully I'll see you again next week, or probably weeks after that, and we'll continue this journey. So once again, thank you everybody for being part of it. Akanksha ma'am, a big hearty thank you for today's session, and of course we'll have some other trainer next week.
Thank
Everybody,
you so
goodbye.
much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you so much to everyone for being here and giving me this chance. Thank you so much. Have a great evening,
Everyone,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.